Officially live, episode 2, Bullheaded. We had a successful launch, and we're going to keep on riding this wave. I'm Chaz here with Bush and Zhu, and like I mentioned, we are here for our second episode of Bullheaded Debates. Last week, we talked about some pretty hot topics, one of which was cooler with NFL international expansion, but we got really hot when we talked about the NBA rookie debate and between the 95-96 Bulls and the Warriors. This one, we're going to kick it off with one that is really, I know it's going to be spicy because we talked a little bit about it last week, and I already know where you guys stand on this one, but I need to hear you guys talk it out. First topic this week is going to be James Harden. James Harden, would you start and build a team around the beard? Pat, I'm going to go over to you first because I know Zoo's going to explode.
Oof. This is a tough one. When I first looked at it, Harden is such a good player, but I don't think he's that great to build around. I think he reminds me a lot of like a Carmelo Anthony in the fact that he's completely one-minded on offense. I mean, the guy, he's known for having memes of like red carpets going to the basket on his defense, right? And I think, the man could put up 40 points a game, but he's literally just the streakiest, best player in the NBA, if not in NBA history. I think if you give him a big man, like when he had Dwight, if he had Orlando Magic Dwight on his team, that team could go far. And I do believe in Harden in that sense. But if you pair another ball-heavy guard with him, like Russell Westbrook is now, I just don't think they're going to make it that far. They're going to be a good team. I mean, Mike D'Antoni's got a great system.
What are you talking about, man? Chris Paul.
And he left. Paul. He hated Harden.
Dude, because they
did not get along because no one wants to play. No one wants to play with Harden.
Dude, they lost to the Warriors and they got upset because they shouldn't have lost to the Warriors the last year, and that's why it all blew up, man. Can't play with a ball handler. CP3, one of the best point guards in NBA history. One of the best point guards in NBA history, and they went 7 games against the KD Warriors. Can't play with CP3? Man, stop it. James Harden could play with me, could play with the hobo, could play with the big man. He could play with anyone. He could play with anyone.
If I'm building a team, though, I want to win. And that's
just because he's lost the Warriors doesn't mean he doesn't win. He's
never won. He's never won, man. The closest he came was that Western Conference Finals was 2018, right? When he played against Durant. They won. They lost in 7, right? In the 4 games that they lost by an average of 23 points. And when they did win, they won by only an average of 9. They got blown out of the water, really, except they won 2 games by less than 5 points.
They were the better team. I got no problem with you losing the better team. MJ got swept by the Celtics. He got swept by the Bucks.
By himself, man. Harden's had solid teams.
I don't care if you lose to a great team. I just don't care. It's when you start losing teams that are inferior, pathetic, scrubby. When Vegas got you in it, you better get it done.
Like the Blazers?
Yeah.
When they went to the Blazers?
Yeah, Dame Dollar hit a cold-blooded game winner.
They lost in 6, man. It's not like they lost in 6.
Dude, we're talking about the new James Harden.
He has not changed except for his traveling abilities, man. That's all he's added to his game in the past 5 years.
Everybody travels in the NBA. LeBron travels. Everybody carries.
He kind of revolutionized that.
It's part of the game. He takes advantage of noob refs. He takes advantage of the rules and pushes it to that great line. You know what that's called? Innovation. Yeah, it's called innovation.
I agree with Zhu on that point.
Basketball IQ. He's one of the smartest players in the game. He's not that athletic. He's a little chubby. So he got to use his abilities to his max.
Bro,
to his max.
If he had such a high basketball IQ, he would know that going 1 for 17 from 3 in a stretch, bro, you got to know when to call it quits, man. All right? He's a streaky, probably a Hall of Famer. I'll give you that. He's a great player. Okay? I'm not saying that.
First ballot Hall of Famer. First ballot. No questions asked. You just write him in. The minute he retires, whatever, 3 years later, James Harden, Hall of Fame.
Okay, that's fine. If he's a Hall of Famer, that's fine. But it's who I want to build my team around to win a championship, and I don't think Harden's that guy. Do you think would they have said the same thing about Carmelo Anthony? Would you want Carmelo Anthony starting your team?
Disrespect to James Harden. Carmelo Anthony. That man cannot pass. James Harden averaged 10 assists for multiple years. He's a playmaker. He makes scrubs look good.
He can thank D'Antoni for that.
Oh, okay. He had a
Spreading
great
the floor.
Carmelo had Mike D'Antoni as a head coach, and they sucked it off. James Harden gets Mike D'Antoni. They making Western Conference Finals, man. He averaging 10 assists. He makes PJ Tucker look good. Who the hell is PJ Tucker? Nobody until he played with James Harden.
The only thing he has,
that man got a max contract because of James Harden. Clint Capella, scrub. You got James Harden.
He averaged a double-double. He did his job. That's all he could do with Harden on the floor.
What team is he on? What team is he on?
Isn't he on the Hawks now?
Yeah, see, you got to think about it.
With Trae Young.
He's irrelevant. He got traded because James Harden can throw lobs to anybody, man. Come on.
All he has to show for it, he's got a couple. All right, he's got.
Carmelo Anthony has no leadership ability. He has no playmaking ability. Carmelo Anthony, get out of here, man.
Dude,
has Carmelo been in the MVP candidate?
Yeah, he has been. He's been up in contention. Harden's probably a better version of Anthony.
Has been top 2 for the last 4 years. He's been in contention consistently. Why
do you care so much about stats and MVPs? Why don't you care about winning?
Stats and MVPs? That's what it's all about, man.
That's what it's all about. You play a sport to win, man. You don't want if you lose in the finals or Western Conference Finals, you walk off the floor. You don't ask for a participation trophy, right? They don't, dude. You lose, you're off the floor, man. No one cares about you anymore.
The argument isn't is James Harden a good player? The argument is, do you want a team around James Harden?
Absolutely. Nope. My Chicago Bulls will take them both hands open right now. We got a bunch of
the finals.
Yo, stop. If we had James Harden on the Chicago Bulls,
that's what the Rockets thought when they got him from the Thunder, and he hasn't taken them to the finals.
He lost to the Warriors. I forgive him.
Sorry.
LeBron lost to the Warriors. I'm building around LeBron. There is no shame.
Don't compare James Harden to LeBron James, man. Come on.
He lost to the Warriors and he lost to the Spurs.
Blazers.
Anything wrong with that? Okay, we're talking about
Blazers.
MVP. We're talking about MVP James Harden level. MVP James Harden. MVP James Harden.
Dude, that's it.
MVP James Harden.
I have nothing else to say other than the fact that if I'm building a team, I want to win, and he is not a winner. He can get you far, but he can't get over that hump, man.
Who are you taking? Who are you taking in front of him? I knock out LeBron, Kawhi Leonard, and KD. Easy. Okay, those guys are better players than James Harden. Those are easy guys.
Yeah.
Starting a franchise. Who else?
Well, there's a lot of people that haven't proven it yet. I think.
Where's Steph Curry? Where's Steph Curry in that combo?
I'm taking James Harden over Steph Curry.
Ooh,
I don't agree.
I'm saying it. I love Steph, but Steph got his rings with his man KD doing the heavy lifting. Iguodala won Finals MVP. Those are facts.
Dude, 73 games without KD.
Yeah.
Did he win Finals MVP? I love that award, man.
Has Harden won Finals MVP?
Because you got it done in the finals. Dude, James Harden has the amount of Finals MVPs as Steph Curry.
At least Curry's part of a team that got there because he knows how to run an offense, not just jack up 23s a game. There's a reason D'Antoni's never made it far as a coach, and that partially I think is affecting Harden, but it also fits to his play style. Okay? He's a great player, man. He's just not a winner.
The Rockets had one of the best offenses of all time.
Yeah, so did the Suns, and they never did anything.
Of all time. Dude, the disrespect. They had a historically great offense with James Harden as the dominant player. The disrespect.
Andy, all right. You're an NBA. If you're an NBA owner,
is he not a superstar?
Harden?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You don't want to start your franchise with a superstar?
Not if I'm trying to win.
Oh!
Not him.
I don't think there's going to be any resolution on this one.
No way.
So, unless there's some final words from either of you guys, let's move to the next topic.
Oh, my Lord.
That's it. I can't talk about this with him anymore. He just wants stats and all that and the highlights. I want to win, man. I want to win.
34 points against the Golden State Warriors.
And he lost.
I want my superstar to do that.
What's your point? You're saying all these stats, but he lost, man. I don't care who he lost
against.
It's
a team game. This ain't tennis.
Oh, I thought he made his team better.
There's only so much you can make Capella better. Capella.
Nah.
What a scrub.
Oh, okay. There's some Matt 3. Okay, next topic. Clint Capella, ton of scrub. We got to move on.
Fair.
This topic, I mean, you guys have prefaced both of you being Bulls fans, so I have a feeling of where this might lean, but let's go with it anyway because it's an interesting one to tackle. It's the greatest what-if athlete in sports history. So,
by all means, man, this one's first to you.
Yeah, please.
Derrick Rose. This man was so good. Just look at that age. 22 years old. Youngest MVP. Did MJ do that? Nope. LeBron? Nope. Kareem? Nope. Magic. Derrick Rose. This is the only guy to achieve MVP in his third year. And this dude played 1 year in college. So he came in as a baby. He's barely an adult. He still had his mom's health insurance. Stop it. Derrick Rose was a baby when he won MVP. He was a baby. He could barely drink. This dude was so good that he led a team that was a bunch of scrubs on offense.
Keith Bogans.
Keith Bogans. If you guys don't know who Keith Bogans, there's a reason why. He's irrelevant. He looks like Mr. Potato Head. He got a jump shot as bad as mine right now. That guy was not an NBA player, and that was his partner or crime in his backcourt. A scrub. If he had anyone that was even average, he could have competed better with the Miami Heat with the big three of LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. But Gar Forman and John Paxson gave him a scrub as a backcourt mate. Chaz, you know who Keith Bogans is?
I know the name. I don't know the player.
Irrelevant.
6 points per game as a starter, man.
It sounds pretty good.
Oh, my Lord. That dude is so bad at basketball. It's not even funny. If he's contested, it's a missed shot. It's a missed shot, man.
Zoo, didn't the Bulls, isn't it funny though? Didn't the Bulls win 85% of their games when he hit 2 threes in the game, every game?
Real. When this man dropped 6 points. 6 points. They were historically the greatest team of all time. So if you gave Derrick Rose a point guard, a backcourt mate, that's the most important sidekick. You look at Steph Curry, you need a backcourt mate in Klay Thompson. Money. Greatest shooting backcourt of all time. Isaiah Thomas with a Joe Dumars, backcourt sidekick. Derrick Rose, you give Derrick Rose Keith Bogans, Ronnie Brewer? Come on, Kyle Korver? Man can't play defense. Ronnie Brewer, guy can't shoot. Keith Bogans, guy can't play. Unfair. If you gave him anyone that was even average, they would have been in the finals. Anyone average.
Yep, I agree.
That's what I got to say about a man that was so good.
You know, I mean, I knew Zoo was going. I know he's, Derrick Rose is his sports hero and all. And I remember where I was. I remember where I was in the exact moment when somebody told me that Derrick Rose had torn his ACL in the playoffs, and I knew right then. I was like, dude, that's it for the Bulls. Like Zoo said, they didn't have anyone else that could carry the team. So I agree that my personal favorite for a what if is if Derrick Rose never got injured and if they actually gave him some help. But I think there's a couple other people too that should be discussed. Like if Tracy McGrady, we got the Penny Hardaways, man, the Grant Hills. Those are all people that had injury-ridden careers that you have no idea where they could have gone. I mean, a lot of people think that if Tracy McGrady had never gotten hurt, he could have been a top 3 shooting guard of all time.
Absolutely.
Competing with Kobe in that discussion, especially.
Orlando is cursed.
I agree.
Grant Hill,
besides Shaq,
T-Mac,
that's it, man.
Penny Hardaway. Shaq ditched the curse before he got infected by that.
Yeah. But, and I know, Chez, you wanted to stick to NBA, but, there's a couple other, sports where this crossed my mind. It was the Detroit Lions, man. They bailed on Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson, man, 2 of the greatest talents in the NFL history at their respective positions. And they both only played 9 years and walked away from the game. Never really even had winning records or anything. Those are another 2 guys.
I had.
Yeah, those are my honorable mentions outside the NBA. And it was a sad thing having to look at some of the careers that have fallen off. But I still got to give it to Zoo. Derrick Rose, man, he's number 1 for me. And
he's a legend, baby.
He's a legend, man.
He's a legend.
As a Chicago person, man,
if you're an NBA fan, you're probably a Derrick Rose fan.
Agreed.
People just like the kid. He's so likable. Pooh? Come on, man.
What a great nickname, man.
Go upstairs. Look at that 40-inch vertical. 6. He was Russell Westbrook before Russell Westbrook. He's Russell Westbrook, but smarter. He's not as stupid as him. He plays more under control. That's who he was. Russell Westbrook is just the full embodiment of Derrick Rose in his full prime. That's what I truly believe.
You see what Rip Hamilton said about that? He goes, no one wanted any smoke from Derrick Rose. He goes, Curry, Westbrook, they didn't want any smoke. He torched them night in and night out when he played, man, especially CP3.
MVP year, he whooped every point guard. Tony Parker, get that French butt out of here. Darren Williams, overrated. Chris Paul, come on, man. I'm bigger, stronger, and faster than you. Come on, man.
He was a Ferrari with a bunch of Hyundais, to quote Stacey King, man.
Oh, so true. That man was fast.
What do you guys think about putting Andrew Luck in this debate?
Because that was one person, and I actually saw a funny thing today, and they were comparing stocks with sports players, and you know what his comparison was? Enron, man, it disappeared overnight. And he kind of, dude, he was so good. And, I think if he had been surrounded by, a better offensive line, and I mean, he had decent wide receivers kind of throughout his career, but, I don't judge him for walking away from the game. And I think that since it was more of a personal decision rather than an injury or an act of God, if you want to call it that, I wouldn't consider him in this conversation. But at the same time, dude, some quarterbacks hit their peak in their early 30s, and we really didn't get to see that from them. So who knows? Yeah, it kind of is still big what if, and especially in the NFL.
I'm not counting him on my list because he walked away. That was his decision. Good for him. Good for his mental health. He's a rich man. He got rich parents. He is super successful. No shame on that, but he walked away. A lot of players on this list, they got injuries. They got hit with ACL tears, meniscus tears, arthroscopic surgery, so they couldn't control any of it. So,
football is also a much more physical sport.
I give you that. But he walked away. I respect him for that. He could have
played if he wanted to.
He could have played, especially that year. They have a good team. They got a new O-line. They actually have a GM that's making moves like T.Y. Hill, and they got some players. And this year, Jonathan Taylor, they got some players on that team, man. Walking away, man. That's tough. That's tough, man.
Yeah. I'm sure it was a tough call for him.
Colts are looking good, though, but we'll go back to the NBA for our last topic, though, unless there are any other honorable mentions. I think we touched most of them, though. So back in basketball, our third and final debate topic for today is going to be the best Hall of Fame class in all of NBA history. So there are a couple that really come to mind. Zoo, I don't think you've kicked one off yet. Why don't you take this one first?
I gotta go with the one with Kobe Bryant, KG, and Tim Duncan. Are you kidding me? As a 2000 kid, these names just resonate. The big fundamental, the big ticket, the Black Mamba. You got how many titles? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't even keep track. Man. I don't even have enough fingers for that many titles with these three players, man. It is unbelievable. They played both sides of the court. They were historically great at their position, historically great, recognizable, defined franchises. The Lakers, the Celtics, the Spurs, man. What are you doing?
What, dude? KG, he had two other Hall of Famers playing with him when he won a title, man.
No problem with that.
He didn't win Finals MVP.
They got Defensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year.
He's a great defender, all-time defender.
He can guard great scorer too. All five positions. KG was unbelievable talent. If you look at him as a talent, unbelievable. For a 6'11 dude, he could dribble, shoot, pass, rebound, block, steals. He left a putrid franchise in the Timberwolves. That franchise is historically bad up there with the Cleveland Cavaliers. No shame in bouncing.
Hey, at least they have a champ, though.
Man, what are you? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Greatness can do that with putrid garbage, with LeBron James touching that garbage and making it look like gold. But it's still garbage. It is still garbage. So when KG left, beautiful decision. I'm not penalizing him. He did what he can do. He did what he could do with a bunch of scrubs, with a bad franchise. And look at them now. They've been in the lottery for how many years now? Like a decade.
Almost.
Like a decade. They had 1 year with Jimmy Butler, and that's pretty much it.
Yep. And that team should have been a lot better too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. With all those number 1 draft picks.
Wiggins, Cat, all of them, yeah. But that's my number 2. My number 1 is 2009 Hall of Fame class with my man Michael Jordan, David Robinson, John Stockton, and one of the best coaches of all time in Jerry Sloan. And I'm not, we can disregard Jerry Sloan, whatever, comparing players.
Okay.
Great coach, though. You got to give him that.
Yeah, he was a Bull. He was a Chicago Bull.
That's true. When you look at Stockton, man, we're talking about a top 3 point guard of all time.
I'm
you want to talk
Stockton.
about who?
I'm sleeping on Stockton. I'm sleeping on him. He had Karl Malone, the mailman that got buckets for years. He got buckets for 2 decades.
Yeah, but who hit the game winner to get to the finals, man?
It was John Stockton. That was cold-blooded. That was a cold-blooded game.
Cold-blooded.
I give you that.
And he's a competitor. Dude.
KG, we're talking about competitor, Kevin Garnett.
Okay.
Kevin Garnett. That dude's a competitor. I'm taking that dude over John Stockton any day.
Michael Jordan.
Any day. Michael Jordan, Kobe.
That's all I got to say, man.
Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant.
That's MJ any day.
That's almost a push. Almost a push. Yes. Kobe is just MJ with lack of with a little less efficient. That's Kobe
pretty
Bryant.
Much copied his game.
Yes.
Yeah, because it was that good.
Tim Duncan or David Robinson? Who's better? Tim Duncan. They played together. Tim Duncan won Finals MVP and led them to the titles.
Agreed.
Tim Duncan's better than David Robinson.
I agree with you.
KG or John Stockton? You starting
I'd take John Stockton.
Yo, you take the 6'3" white boy out of Gonzaga over the big ticket.
Yeah, because dude, he didn't do anything until he played with 2 Hall of Famers.
He won MVP.
That's a personal award, not a team award.
No, dude, when you win MVP, your team got to be a little relevant. You can't be out of the playoffs.
I thought nowadays, when people win MVP, it's usually the team with the highest record in the league, and the Timberwolves were never even close to it.
His team was a top 2 seed, in the West, and the man averaged more points, more rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks than all his scrubby teammates.
Well, yeah, of course.
All his scrubby
he was by himself.
And dude, has John Stockton ever been MVP or the MVP conversation? Nope, because he got a man he played with that was better than him, the mailman. The mailman was always better than John Stockton.
And John Stockton made the mailman better.
He made him better.
And I will say, with who as the coach? Who's running that system? 2009 Hall of Famer, Jerry Sloan. There you go, man. He made that system, that pick and pop that everyone always talks about, the greatest pick and pop of all time. John Stockton and Karl Malone. Can't have one without the other. They just happen to have the other man in my Hall of Fame class on the opposing side. And that's why they never won. And they should have won. They could have won, man.
They shouldn't have won. MJ dropped 45 points with Scottie Pippen with migraine. Man, get out of here. They shouldn't have won, man. They dropped 50 points in the NBA Finals. Do you remember that game?
Yeah.
50 points.
Yeah.
50
because of my man,
in the
Michael
NBA
Jordan.
Finals. That is embarrassing. You should not win an NBA Finals if you drop 50 points. 50 points in 4 quarters.
Kind of like Harden losing by 41 to the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals.
The man dropped 32 points. The man dropped 28 points. He was getting his.
Yeah, on what percent shooting? 38?
Efficiency goes down in the playoffs. It gets more physical, so you put up harder shots.
And they don't give him all the calls. That's true.
John Stockton led this great offense to 50 points. 50. Embarrassing.
All I'm saying is, dude, hey, you know what? I knew you were going to be picking the Kobe one. I had to pick the MJ one, but those are my top 2. I think I got to give it to the Michael Jordan just because he's the revolutionizer of the entire NBA. He made the NBA what it is today, and he was in the Hall of Fame that year, man.
If you want to pick that draft class because of Michael Jordan, go ahead.
Yeah,
but not because of John Stockton. Not because of John Stockton.
No, John
Stockton.
He's a top 30 player of all time.
He out of mind.
KG is barely in that too.
KG's in mine. I'm taking the 6'11" guy that could dunk. I'm not taking the white man that is 6'3", undersized. You take the better athlete. You take the guy with that heart pumping in his chest. Kevin Garnett. Anything is possible. I believe you, KG. Anything is possible with KG. Come on, man.
He's a great player.
He changed the image, the identity of the Celtics, the identity.
He paved the way for the Anthony Davises too, man.
Yeah, the stretch four.
Yep.
People didn't play like that. Facing the basket, no one does that. People do that now because of Kevin Garnett. Exactly. He's an innovator. John Stockton?
Ooh, I don't know, man. He inspired the guy. He inspired the likes of Steve Nash, maybe. Ooh, a 2-time MVP. You want to talk about MVPs? Guess who his idol was? John Stockton.
And do you know who's better than both of them? James Harden. He is the fully evolved form of those guys. Getting buckets, pick and roll, pick and pop, pick and oop. James Harden is the fully maturity of this evolution of point guard in the pick and roll system. He's better than John Stockton.
We're going to disagree on Harden until the cows come home. Come on.
Dude, you think John Stockton and Steve Nash are better than James Harden?
No, but they've reached about the same point in their careers, never winning, getting to the conference finals. So I'd say they're pretty comparable.
Except one man, 6'5", over
2-time MVP.
Pounds. Shaq should have got one of those.
2-time MVP.
Shaq should have got one of those.
But he didn't.
Okay, he got 2 MVP trophies. That's actually quite beautiful. That's quite historically great.
Actually.
That's quite historically great. But I'm taking the bearded one, James Harden.
And if I remember correctly, I don't think Steve Nash averaged over 20 points per game in either of those seasons, man.
I know.
I think he averaged 18 and 12, maybe. Kind of reminds me of John Stockton numbers. Just so happened that he had
John Stockton put up single-digit points in the beginning of his career. He was actually a nobody for a couple of years.
He worked. He had the work ethic to become. So he went from 3 years of below 10 points per game to being in the Hall of Fame. I like that work ethic.
I give him props.
He wasn't a prodigy out of high school. He wasn't a prodigy out of high school. He wasn't a number 1 draft pick. He put in the work and it paid off. And that's why I give him more respect, man.
But those underdogs? I don't want underdogs when I want a Hall of Fame class. I want guys that were the guy in college, the guy in high school. People saw him and called him the chosen one. I want the hype. I want all the hype. Those are the guys I want on my team. Those underdogs, they're great stories. But nah.
And that ties right back to our episode 1 of Ja the underdog versus Mr. Limelight Zion Williamson.
Damn. There's a reason the limelight's on them, man. They're worth the hype.
They're both great players. But, hey, it's hard to pick between Hall of Fame classes. They're so sporadic. But, MJ, Kobe, Timmy D, and David Robinson, they're all great players, man. That's why they're in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree with that. But John Stockton.
You're just going to keep coming back to John Stockton, man.
I was just about to say there's a very civil ending there, and then all of a sudden, Zoo starts right back
be a
up
little
again.
slide in, man. Come on.
Because you say MJ, Kobe, the Admiral, Timmy D, and then John Stockton.
What, dude? He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you're talking like he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, what are you're referencing? Like, this is a Hall of Fame debate, man. This isn't a player versus player comparison. Plus, hey, man, I think Jerry Sloan puts mine over the top. Honestly.
Okay, if you want to count head coaches,
hey, he was in the 4 people that were listed as the top 4 in the class, man, and that's what I compared. Okay. You may have had like a GM or something in yours, maybe.
Nah, I saw no one relevant out of those 3 NBA superstars, man.
Jerry Krause wasn't in it, though. Let's be honest.
Jerry Krause?
Yeah.
Jerry Krause? Jerry Krause, that man that broke up the Bulls dynasty with the help of that owner, that scrubby owner. Oh,
yeah, man. The GM game seems pretty ruthless. Man. So when they can get into the Hall of Fame and they don't really get any recognition, that's why Jerry Krause, I feel like, went insane, man. He wasn't getting any recognition.
He got paid, man. That's all the recognition you need. He got paid. And you get to watch basketball for a living. That's payment enough.
It's true. He started
That's payment enough.
Is Jerry Krause in the Hall of Fame?
Oh, yes, he is.
I think he is, yeah.
After he passed away, that's when he went in.
Though.
That's the best Hall of Fame class right there. Jerry Krause. And with that, we'll call it time. Especially because we're right at time, actually. Pretty good timing there. So that has been episode 2 of Bullheaded here at Shred of Sports. I'm Chaz here with P. Bush and Zoo. pretty civil, all things considered.
Except for Harden.
Yeah, Harden got heated, but that's the NBA. I'm not so surprised there. But guys, we appreciate you hopping on, listening to this podcast. You can listen to this pod on every major podcasting platform. We're on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, you name it, we're there. New episodes live stream every Thursday, coming out on Monday releases. So be tuned to stick in, and please subscribe whenever you listen on your preferred platform. We will be back next Thursday to record. Guys, we appreciate you. We love you. Stay safe. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.